Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, don't think I don't remember doing a reading for you before, but I do so many. I just like to explain real quick how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste a message. There's always a reason for whatever they say or show. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. Go, oh, I know what he's talking about. So, this is non-exact science. Sometimes you have to stretch it outside the box a little bit. We communicate the best way we can. It's his show. I allow them to run the show. They know what they need to say, and at least within reason. So let's see what Grandpa has to say. He says you're afraid of something, and it's not like being afraid of like somebody's coming to hurt you, or it's not a danger thing. It's something that you are afraid to do. And he said it's kind of like he's calling it niggling. I'm not saying the bad word. I'm not saying the N word. Like, but he used the word niggling. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody use that word. Kind of under the surface, under your surface, and it's maybe not something you're even aware of most of the time, but you kind of know it's there. It's something that you want to do. It's something that you want to do that's right under your surface, but you're afraid to step out and do it. You think that other people, like family, friends, will think that you're silly if you do it. He says, what do you always say, Rhonda? I say, fuck them. That's what I say. Um, it, it's like when I came out of a hamburger place one time with my grandson, and I start dancing across the parking lot. And he goes, really, Grandma? I said, I don't give a shit what those people in there looking out the window think. I don't care. I feel like dancing right now. Do it. He's trying to tell you, push you to do it. So, what's the first thing it pops? It could be an art class. It could be dancing. It could be music lessons. It could be anything. It's it doesn't have to be like a job, career. Could be. I'm not saying it's not. He's not telling me exactly what it is, but he said it's something that your heart really wants to do, and you think other people will think you're silly if you do it. Go do it. Don't you think people thought I was silly when I started doing this? And their beliefs held me back for a long, long time. Get out of your box. I'm telling you, get out of your box. If there's something that you think other people will think is silly, I don't care if it's learning how to stand on your head. Go do it. If it's there's something there. He says it's under the surface. You hide it, kind of. One person knows that it's kind of a dream of yours. He says even though you think it will seem silly to other people, he wants you to go do it. Do it while you can. He says then there'll be another one right after that. After you finally do that one, it'll kind of open a door for you. He's wanting to help free you. Asking for help. They cannot override your free will choice. So if there's something that you need help with that he understood how to do down here, that he could have helped with down here, or even if it was just listening to you, I promise you 1,000%. He can hear you, he can see you. That's a no-brainer. It's just it's like they're in the next room. So you can talk to him all you want to. He'll hear you. So he says, yes, he did visit your Nana in a dream. We dream of our loved ones that have left, and then we get actual true visitations from our loved ones. There's just a little bit of a difference. A dream, as soon as you wake up, it kind of starts fading away, you know, and kind of melting. A true visitation, I still remember mine, and I've only had like one or two. And mine was 8, 9 years ago. I remember every smell, every word that was said, every picture on the wall. You'll remember the color of their shoelaces. Uh, they're that vivid, and it doesn't go away. So that's a visitation. He says the young girl was somebody's cousin. He's not saying his cousin, her cousin, your cousin. He's not specifying. That leaves it pretty broad range there. Somebody's cousin that is still here. Somebody that's still here. It was their cousin. Young girl. She stepped forward, and they do this a lot. And when one of them steps forward, like Grandpa, and they see the opportunity to come through, or sometimes Grandpa or whoever will bring the other one through because there's somebody here that really needed to see them and know that they're okay. So who would be the first one to pop into your head? Because he's not saying whose cousin. It could be Nana's cousin. It could be your cousin. It could be, but it would be somebody close to you. Somebody at least close to you, if it's not yours, that just needs to know that their baby's okay. And they took that opportunity to come through. I'm seeing the letter J. We stink at names, stink at nicknames. So just don't take that 100%. I don't know why. That's the one thing you used to get them exact, don't anymore. So don't hold that 100%. He says one of the signs he's sending is the smell of, I believe it's cigarette smoke. It's some kind of smoke. And usually you just get a whiff of it. Sometimes it can like fill a room, but usually it's like you get this whiff. And you can be in your car, in the store, outside, doesn't matter where you're at, and you get this whiff. Make sure you validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. And if the first person that pops into your head when you get something that you think is a sign from someone, that's who it is. It just works that it works that way. Sorry, it takes too long to explain it in a video. He says so. No, those signs are real. Okay, all right. He wants me to tell the butterfly story. When my friend passed away, I went to the cemetery at least once a week, if not more than that. And every time I went out there, where's my damn sign? Where's my damn sign? And every time I went out, a white butterfly would come out, kind of circle around me and leave. Well, it took me like 10 times with going, Rhonda, there's your sign. And then white butterflies were everywhere. I would see them like I was going in this one person's house, and I thought, ooh, dude, should I really go in here? And there was a white butterfly right next to the door, just floating around. So that was my sign. I was okay. So know that if you have that repeating thing, start paying attention to it. And also pay attention to what's going on around it. But it really, really helps if you let them know that you know that's a sign from them. It kind of like opens a floodgate. Then they go, they finally realize that I'm sending them a sign that I love them and I'm still here. Let me send more. Now that they get it, now they'll realize it. They'll figure it out. So no, he's talking about butterflies too. He told me to tell the butterfly story, but now he's talking about. So he's showing an orange butterfly. Doesn't have to be orange. Don't know that I feel that's like 100% going to be orange all the time, but he's showing an orange one. He could just be showing a butterfly. He could be showing a particular color along with the butterfly. So make sure you validate him. Let him know that you know that's him, and ask him. Ask him to bring you more. Give him permission. Tell him you're ready. Something about tapping on a window, like tapping, like taking your fingernail and tapping on glass. It's like somebody's sitting in a chair inside the house and somebody's tapping on the glass window from the outside. So again, tapping on a piece of glass. When you hear that, you probably can't hear that. I'm tapping on my glass table. That will be another sign. Let him know you know that's him. Ask him to bring you more. They cannot override your free will choice. And if they think they're going to scare you, a lot of times they'll hang back and not do anything. I always ask them, don't do the slamming shit around, and all that, because people think their house is haunted when it's just Grandpa just trying to let y'all know he's around and he loves you. Sweeping. What about sweeping? Okay, he's got a big shop broom and he's sweeping with it. So I don't know if you just did this thinking about doing this, need to do this, but that doesn't seem like what it is. He's sweeping and then he holds the broom up and shows me the bristles. Shows me the bristles, like something stuck in the bristles. Like I'm supposed to see something about the bottom of the bristles. And it looks like there's something in there. So I'm not sure what he's getting at with that, but go check your shop broom. Or somebody needs to. Yeah, I don't. They never waste a message. There's always a reason. I hear him singing. He's singing, just tell me you love me. Just tell me you love me. You don't want me to sing. It's pretty bad. He's singing that with a big old smile on his face. Tell him. He can hear you. You don't need me to tell him anything. He can hear you. So I asked him about knowing if your dad made varsity ball basketball. And he just puffed his chest all up. He said he's proud as a peacock, but he said not just of that, of everything. he said he says I'm very proud of him in all things, not just things like that. He said he's a chip off the old block and you're a little chipper off the old block. He's calling you a chipper, a little chip, little chip. Dad's a big chip, you're a little chip. And he feels very proud that he could pass that on to both of you. He says you can do no wrong. In his eyes, you can do no wrong. And the little wrong things you do, the little mistakes, he said that's life. That's just life. Again, he's saying, just tell me you love me. Okay, so now he's showing me it's a dark colored car. It might just be showing me a car. Or it could be the exact color. But it looks pretty much black. And like the back quarter panel has a crinkle in it, like somebody backed into it or something. So I don't know if he's trying to validate that it's him. This recently happened to somebody and he's acknowledging that he knows that. Because I usually ask them to at least validate themselves a couple times during a reading. Not the whole reading, because to me that's just a medium patting himself on the back going, look what I can do. But I like them to at least validate themselves so you know for sure it's him. So I think he's just, so I'm assuming this would have happened recently. And it doesn't have to be somebody backed into it, but that's just kind of wrinkle it looks like. Okay, so now he comes up behind me. He's got his hands right here. Of course, they're the other way around. He's behind me, and he's almost kneading my neck. Of course, my neck hurts this morning, so could be the reason he's kind of. So you will feel this. You probably won't feel it like as hard as I'm doing it to myself, but you will feel those hands resting, like he's okay. He's resting his hands on each side. He is moving them a little bit. Usually, I don't know how you will feel it. Everybody feels it different. But you should feel at least maybe a little pressure. It may feel as slight as if you put a tea towel on your shoulder, or it could feel like a warmth or goosebumps through there, or there's been sometimes when they're really trying to get my attention and I'm ignoring them, and I feel like pins stick in me, where they really get after me, going, "Hey, trying to get your attention." And you should be able to feel a change of air pressure behind you. I always tell people it might feel like a bubble pushing on you or something, or a warmth even because he's standing back there, but this will be the main area. So again, validate him, acknowledge him, dog, and tell him you love him. Let him know that he's there. He says, "I'm there to protect you, but you really don't need any protection." So it's not really like a danger protection thing. He says, "I'm just there to be, just to be." I want you to know how much I love you. He says it is what it is and it was what it was, whatever that means. And everything's going to be all right. So if you're doubting something right now, he's saying everything's going to be all right. Okay, so he's so mellow, he's so peaceful, he's so full of love, and he's going three women. You, Nana, whoops, sorry, I didn't look nice. But there's one in between. There's a female in between. I don't know if he's talking about your mom, but it's like three generations. It's like three different ages. Maybe not generations, may not even be blood related. But it's like Nana, you, and an age in between. He's talking about the three women that he's madly in love with. And it doesn't even matter if you even knew him. That doesn't matter. So he wants me to tell you that if you need help with something, call on him. Like I said, he can hear you. They cannot override your free will choice. I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in here, don't call on Uncle Joe up there for financial help, because he didn't know how it worked here. So he's not the one to ask for help. What was Grandpa good at? What would, even if it's just listening, then use that. Talk to him. Whatever he was good at, whatever he would have understood here, he would be the one to call on. And if he doesn't know how to do it, he can run around and find somebody up there who can help. They can open doors for you. They can put people in your path that you need for your next step in life. I don't know if I'm kind of babbling. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm blonde. But he says he wants you to use that ability that everybody has to call on somebody up there to help them with something here. But like I said, just make sure it's somebody. They can put the richest, most gorgeous man in the world in front of you, and you can go, "No, I want somebody who drives a trash truck." Nothing wrong with driving a trash truck, because somebody's got to do it, but that's your free will choice. They can bring that to this other one to you, but you can use your free will choice to say, "No, I don't want that right now." I do it all the time. My guides are always poking me on the head, going, "Rhonda, we brought you some good shit. What are you doing?" Because I have free will choice. He says you have pretty much smooth sailing in front of you. And he's shooting hearts at you. He's shooting little red hearts at you. So if you, he's not even showing me really any signs that he's, hang on, I'm going to ask him real quick and I got to go. Okay, so him shooting these little red hearts at you, I mean, they're kind of shooting. So know that, let's say you're walking through Walmart and you kind of feel your head turn to the side and there's a picture and has some little red hearts on it. Or you find a little red heart on the floor. Like, I got out of my pickup in a parking lot not too long ago, and this was on the ground. Speaking of little red hearts, just as I opened my door, I looked down, and there it is in the middle of the parking lot, and it was hooked on something. And I clearly knew that was a sign and who it was from. Then I laid it on my desk. A couple days later, I woke up, I took a nap on the couch, and there it was laying by the couch. Well, I'm sure my cat brought it over, but that doesn't matter how it got there. It was still that sign. So watch for the little red hearts on things. You could be walking through the card section and you can see a card with little red hearts all over it. So know that that will be a sign from him to you. Validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more. That's your choice. With that, he's going to leave. He's blowing you kisses. He's blowing all three of you women kisses separately. So, like I said, I'm not sure who the third woman is. I feel like it's your mom. So for whatever reason, even though I'm assuming that's not his daughter, that there's a connection there. Okay, much love to you, my dear. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.